Hey guys, it's Riz, and today is a rant video about none other than the 2020 AP exams. I've seen a fair share of opinion videos on the College Board AP tests, so I wanted to share mine. And I'm going to organize this video into different sections, and I will leave timestamps of each thing that I'm going to talk about, aka rant about, just in case you only care to hear about a certain section of the video. And of course, while I'm doing this, I will be doing my nails, so let's see if you'll be able to guess the design. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first major problem was the actual size of the test. Having one or two questions indicated that only a small portion of the entire year-long AP curriculum was going to be tested. And I mean, if we compare it to how the real exam would be, it would have 50 multiple choice questions, which, let's be honest, most of us relied on, and it would have had multiple written portions, and all of that combined to include a variation of the topics we learned in class. And this was diluted down to just one or two questions. And sometimes people struggle in certain units in the class, so having one question can totally mess someone up. Like, for example, I'm enrolled in AP Calculus AB, and I took the test on Tuesday the 12th. And luckily for me, I was familiar with the content that was being tested because my teacher gave us a lot of practice on those themes. However, one of the units that I was really horrible at in calculus was the optimization unit. I mean, the word even sounds confusing, like optimization. And if I had an optimization question on there, or a part that required me to optimize, or whatever the heck that means, I would have started lighting things on fire because I don't know how to do that. I would have been very confused, I wouldn't have been able to answer the question, and that would have just been a waste of money. And this is why students appreciated the various sections of the exam, because they knew that if they didn't do well on one part, there were still 2 to 3 additional parts. So overall, the 1 to 2 questions does not adequately test our ability to integrate knowledge of the entire AP course. Now, they could have made up for this. The limited questions were unfair, but they could have compensated that for giving us a fair amount of time to complete the test. But College Board kind of just pennywise danced on our face and said, "You have 45 minutes." Like, honestly, what were they thinking? Who at that board meeting said it was okay to have 1, a test be only 1 question, and 2, give us only 45 minutes because I want to personally chokeslam them? Like, just think about it. The possibility of AP students who have worked the entire year to receive a college credit is now limited to 1 question, 45-minute test. That sounds goofy. That sounds ridiculous. And to top it all off, and finally put the nail in the coffin, which our college credits lie, College Board thinks that a 5-minute submission time is adequate. Now, I wouldn't be complaining about the submissions if we were actually able to type it out on the online application, but no, College Board thinks that it's a good idea that students should just find their own way of taking it and choose between the various submission options. On College Board itself, when your teacher opens practice tests for you, you take the practice tests on the actual website and then you submit. It can even be timed practice tests, and then it stops you from continuing to type, and then it asks you to just press the submit button. That would have been a better option than having all of these confusing methods of submission and having millions of students worldwide fiddling with the online application just to submit their response. It's going to lead to disaster. And that leads me to my next point. Why did everyone in the world take the test at the same time? Like, not only would that cause tech issues, but there's a clear unfair advantage for people who have Western time zones, especially if you're an American AP student like myself. And this issue wasn't talked about in a lot of the AP opinion videos that I saw, but I came across this video of a girl talking about her perspective as an international student, and the level of unfairness really broke my heart. Like, I'm privileged because the AP catered to my time zone. In America, the tests were held at 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. If we translate these times to, some of the international countries' times that have AP test takers, they would have had it at 12 a.m., 2 a.m., and 4 a.m. Like, what? Like, at those times, I'm literally in a coma. Like, I'm sleeping. I'm not awake. How? Like, how do you test at that time? And it's so funny how College Board prides themselves in being fair and equal opportunity, but for international students, that was clearly not fair. And I mean, honestly, like, regardless of how much time you study, having a test that early in the morning is insane. And an easy solution would have been to have the test taken at times that were fair to everyone. Like, College Board has so much money, they could have created an international test. They could have created separate tests to be taken at separate times. And if they did this, they would have had more submissions and less issues. The final problem that a lot of people are talking about is the pricing. So I know that prices do vary from test to test and country to country, but for me, I live in America, which is the only part of my address I wish to disclose. But anyway, most of the exams were $94, with a few being in the hundreds range, especially if they had more moving parts. But anyway, I heard that international students had to pay up to double that amount, which, I mean, that just makes me want to vomit out my intestines and strangle College Board with them. And as far as my opinion goes about pricing, our parents, or us, I don't know, but our parents paid for a multi-part exam that would take around 2 hours. We got a single question 45-minute online exam with a wonky application system that sometimes would not take your submissions. So in other words, we paid for a large pizza with extra toppings, and we received a small, crooked slice of cold pizza that's missing all of its cheese and has a bite taken out of it, with a piece of hair on top. But anyway, to end off this video, regardless of how annoyed I am with the 2020 exams, I am thankful that for all 4 of my exams I had to take, I didn't have any tech issues or submission issues, and I got to take it at a reasonable time, which not a lot of students can say. And to any AP students, especially international students who dealt with any of the problems that I mentioned, or just any problems in general, I am truly sorry, and I wish you the absolute best of luck for your makeup exams. I really hope that goes well for you, because honestly, as an AP student who has worked your butt off the entire year, you truly deserve these credits, and a tech issue should not be the reason that it gets taken away from you. But finally, for what it's worth, to those of us who took the test, regardless of whatever may have happened, please hold your head up high, because you did that, and no one can take away your accomplishment of stepping up to the challenge. And the biggest thing you should take from this video is that College Board is a monopoly and a tyrant, and I can thank my AP teachers for teaching me about what the heck those 2 words mean. But anyway, you should also understand that you as a singular AP student have better work ethic than the whole College Board corporation, because of your willingness to take on this stupid test during these horrible circumstances. So be proud of yourself, because you deserve it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you probably could already guess, but I did college logos as a nail design. So on my thumb, I have the Princeton Tigers. On my index finger, it is for Harvard. On my middle finger, it's the UCLA Bruins. On my ring finger, it's the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. And then on my pinky finger, I have the Yale Bulldogs. So I just did a bunch of different colleges, so I really hope you enjoyed. And I don't know what's going to happen moving forward as far as AP test scores. They're going to be released in mid-July, and I really expect most people to pass, because with all of this that happened, College Board should be very lenient on every single test taker. But anyway, I really hope that you feel as confident for your scores as I do. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you liked and subscribed and commented, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you.